Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme goes that famous ballad from Simon and Garfunkel. But they stole that old English folk song and claimed it as their own, so I invented this Scarborough Fair pasta because I was so enraged. Parsley first, of course, and I'm chopping the stalks very finely, and you'll see why in a little while. Scarborough Fair is a lament about unrequited love, and parsley is supposed to soothe the bitterness felt by the forsaken protagonist in our story. The treacherous maiden will apparently be at Scarborough Fair, and our jilted lover wants his mate to tell her there's no way he's having her back. I mean, he goes about it in a very convoluted way, but if he was just to tell his mate to call her a slag or whatever, it wouldn't make for much of a folk song, would it? So I'm just chopping some sage here, and sage represents the strength and wisdom to move on from heartache and betrayal. Rosemary for the fidelity and love that was torn away from our hero, and if you hold it at the end, you can just slide your hand along the stalk and remove the needles quite easily before chopping them up a bit, and you can perform a similar stripping technique to remove the thyme leaves. Thyme represents courage and peace of mind in our story, and those of you out there who have been through a rough breakup will certainly extol the virtues of those two qualities, and plucking thyme isn't too difficult. It's certainly not as hard as the tasks our main character asks of his former lover in order for her to regain his favour. Make me a cambric shirt with no seam or needlework. Yeah, she's never getting him back, like. 6 cloves of garlic going in now. You don't have to put 6 in if you're not that keen on garlic, but I love to go in heavy with my garlic. I'm putting 75 millilitres of olive oil in a warm but not hot pan. I've minced the garlic and I'm going to add that into the warming oil before going in with a generous tablespoon of thyme, a slightly less generous tablespoon of rosemary, and an even slightly less generous tablespoon of sage, and then we can add in those chopped parsley stalks before going in with the juice of half a medium lemon, but you can adjust this to your preference, of course, and we need to cook all this for a little while on a low heat, just to take the hard edge off the garlic and those herbs, which can be quite overpowering when raw. Find me an acre of land between the sea foam and the sea sand, asks our protagonist in the song Scarborough Fair. But you lot don't need to do that for me. Just like and subscribe, you know, it's pretty easy, isn't it? And as our herby, garlicky, lemony oil gently cooks, we can get around 200 grams of dried pasta into some generously salted boiling water and break it up with a fork so it doesn't stick together. And if you find that your oil and herbs are getting a bit too hot, just add in a little pasta water just to cool the jets a bit, because we don't want the garlic and herbs to burn. We don't really want the garlic to brown even, so low and slow is best. And while this lot has been simmering gently, our pasta has been cooking. And when it's about 80% cooked, you can lob it straight from the water into the pan, where we will continue to cook the whole thing so the pasta really takes on all of those amazing flavours. And with the pasta not being fully hydrated, you're probably going to need another ladle or 2 of that pasta water, so don't throw that away. And parsley is a little more delicate than the other herbs, so we're putting that in now, along with the zest of the half a lemon that we used earlier. And then once we've tossed it all up to combine everything, we can finish with some salt and pepper to taste and some chili flakes if you like. And you know, this recipe borrows some elements from aglio e olio, and I know that all great art stands on the shoulders of giants, so I wouldn't call Paul Simon a thief or a plagiarizer. I wouldn't say he appropriates the culture of others for his own ends without giving credit. I wouldn't say that. Some people would, but I wouldn't say that. And in any event, Ewan McCall's version of Scarborough Fair is far superior to Simon and Garfunkel's airy-fairy version anywhere, and there is a link below for that if you're interested. Some finely grated parmesan and another little sprinkle of fresh herbs to finish, and there you have it. The wonderful, simple Scarborough Fair pasta that I didn't really invent, but I'm going to pretend that I did in order to claim all the glory for myself. I'll see you next time, eh? Ta-ra.